Today we're going to talk about the Odnoklassniki as a gateway to the Russian market. My name is Artur Shakalis. My last name is kind of Maria how to pronounce, so call me just Artur. And I work as at Odnoklassniki as the head of games platform. The most common question asked me by guys who do not familiar with the Russian market and the Odnoklassniki, etc., is what's the main difference between the Facebook and Odnoklassniki? And I used to answer this question with an allegory. Like, you can imagine that there is a marketplace and the supermarket. And there is a kind of difference between these two business models. Like, for example, if you bring your good to the marketplace, you can place them wherever you like. You can advertise them wherever you like. But if you bring your goods to the supermarket advertises your goods the way they think will be more profitable, like they placing the goods on a certain shelves, showing in a certain audience, etc. So I'm not telling that the marketplace is bad and the supermarket is good. It's just a different business models. And then this allegory shows that actually the Facebook is more like the marketplace, but the Odnoklassniki is more like the supermarket. In order to prove this idea, I'll show you some pie charts. This is the pie charts of Odnoklassniki installed sources. It's kind of very complicated to look at it this way, so we'll split it a little. So you can see that the huge slice of this pie, about 40%, is driven by the advertisement of the game developers, etc. About, I would say, maybe 13% of the installs were driven by the viral system of the game. Like this, it's basically the business of the developer to implement all this viral stuff good. And about 47% of all the installs are driven by the platform itself. All these showcases, all this featuring stuff, etc., etc., etc. So we are up to promoting your game. We're up to making the best place for our shelves in our supermarket to promote the game to the proper audience. Let's talk about the audience itself. We used to split our audience in 3 groups. First one is the web audience, the one who enters the OK.ru on the web. The next one is the native mobile audience, the users who enters the Odnoklassniki portal through the application at Android, iOS, and WinPhone. And the third one is the mobile web audience. We have the mobile version of our site called m.ok.ru. So that's the audience who enters Odnoklassniki through that mobile site. At web, we have about 50 till 60% of playing audience. During the December and winter holidays, it's the percent of the playing audiences rise up, but during all the other months, it's about 50%. So it's kind of very, I would say, the users up to games and they like to play the games at Odnoklassniki. In addition, we have such a definition as a hooked player. Like if the player who has the combo of 4 days entering in the game, like on the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, or they paid within the game, they have this marker, the hooked. We count him as a hooked in our statistics. And about 75% of all the players who playing the games at Odnoklassniki are hooked. So imagine, like we have the about 35 millions of monthly active users at Odnoklassniki. 50% of them are playing the games, and 75% of them are hooked. Like our audience is very like to play the games on web. What's the most popular genres at Odnoklassniki? We can call ourselves as a casual platform. As you can see, that the biggest slice of this pie is the casual games. Like the main audience is also the casual one, like the 31 to 45-year-old. The split between the man and female, like kind of equal, but it's very different accordingly to genres. But all the guys who had the hardcore strategy, the game, etc., the next slide probably will cheer you up. So this is the split accordingly to the paying users and how much do they pay. As you can see that even if the most popular genre Odnoklassniki is the casual games, that the more paying users are playing the strategy games. Like the average check in the strategy games is about 300 rubles. But still, the percentage of the paying users is bigger in the casual games. Next one. Let's talk about the services Odnoklassniki provides to the game developers outside the showcase and the platform itself, like the business service, I would say. So first of all, if the user paid once at Odnoklassniki and some reason his account right now of the OKs, yeah, by the way, we have the internal currency at Odnoklassniki called OKs. So if the user had this account of OKs equal to 0, but he used to pay some day ago, we can provide the credit to this user. So the developer will receive his share even if the guy who paid in this game did not have money at that moment. And it's up to us to get his debt back. Next one, couple times a month, we provide lotteries. Like it's Russian, but there's a translation below that if you buy ox, then you will receive 35% plus to the sum of ox you bought. And the best part of this is that actually it does not ruin the economy of the game itself. Like just the users of the Odnoklassniki became richer to 35% during these days, and the developer received their share with the usual percentage. Next one, we can provide prizes to your contests within the games. Like for example, this game, the Pirate Treasure, made a contest like who will complete more levels within 1 week will receive the prize from the Odnoklassniki. And Odnoklassniki provided 10,000 OKs to the guy who completed more levels. So we're like pushing users to play more certain game and motivating them with the good prizes. We can help you to produce your game because like we understand that the Russian market is kind of very complicated. It very different from the American market. Not very complicated, but kind of different, and you need some kind of help. So we can provide you the deep analysis of a game, not just a list of checkboxes like you need to implement the viral stuff, you need to implement the payment, blah, 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 blah. No, that's a deep analysis. In some cases, it's a 60-page analysis with all the we're comparing the metrics of your game to the top games on a certain genre. We're providing you some good case studies, etc. All our recommendations are based on the data. And if you would like to apply to this producing, you can find this guy. He's sitting right now, just looking around. Probably he'll be somewhere here. And he will help you to produce your game. Here's some kind of results. Some time ago, we produced the game called the Secrets of the Past or the Tayne Proshlovo at Russian. And you can see the result the game achieved after our production. Like the raised not only the audience metrics but also the monetization metrics. Also, we have the publishing model of the native iOS and Android games. What do we propose? Of course, first of all, we propose the I would say, the gold traffic of the audience who like to play games, who are very hooked to games. And this promotion will be the cross-platform. Like we have all the implementation of the, like for example, if you see the post from the game on the web, you can click and still this post will lead you to the App Store, the Play Market, etc. to install your game. We provide a step-based advertisement. The step-based advertisement on the revenue, how much a game will generate. Like from the very beginning, we have a push of the traffic. Like we have the idea that each game we launch in Odnoklassniki must receive a certain amount of traffic, and it also works with the native games. Like if you give us your game, then definitely you will receive about I don't know, maybe from 50 to 100,000 thousands of installs. And if your game performed well, then we will push it more and more and more. And of course, we'll help you with the producing if it's needed. What's the terms? It's 50-50 revenue share, but after all the deduction of the store. All the viral stuff and Odnoklassniki features must be implemented in the game. Game must be localized, of course, because previous speaker told that actually Russian audience, it's very hard for them to play the not localized game if it's not a casual game. The integration of Odnoklassniki authorization must be completed, and actually we are not taking our share for the installs. We're taking our share. Unfortunately, wait a minute, please. Yeah, that's better. So we're not taking our share from the installs. We're taking our share only from users who authorize themselves as an Odnoklassniki user. Like for example, the user downloaded the application, launched it, and authorized himself as I'm OK user. Then in this case, you pay us 50% from all the revenue this user will generate. But if the user just installs the application, clicks it, and authorizes himself as, for example, the Facebook player or just a guest, then in this case, the share is not paid. Okay, next one. The only ad system is the target Html5 That's so it will be prohibited for your application to advertise out of the games not through this target system, and all the payment methods should be reported. The game we will push will be distributed from your development account. So when it's not required that you provide us a build and we implement it to our development account, that's not obligatory. So you can provide the game like from the one account and distribute it by yourself, and we will distribute the game from the same account. Now let's talk about the Html5 games. About, I would say, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, we launched our mobile web games platform, where we distribute first of all, the WAP games. These mostly the text games, which you was able to play on your feature phones and so on. And right now, this showcasing is transformed to the Html5 mobile games platform. Do you remember that I told you that it's about 50 to 60% of the audience playing the web games? They are very hooked, etc. So we have the very playable audience, etc., etc. But at the mobile web, it's only 2% are playing the mobile web games, and the only reason it happens that I can see, it's the lack of the content. Like I cannot believe that actually the audience which on web playing very frequently, actively, etc., do not like to play on the mobile. The main reason is that actually only few games right now are developed on the HTML5 technology, have the good graphics, and very deep gameplay, etc. In most cases right now, all the mobile HTML5 games are the extension of the web version. For example, this game, again, the Pirate Treasure, has their version of on the mobile device. It's playable on all the smartphones, and then they launched this version of this Pirate Treasure. It generated about the 6 to 10% of additional revenue, even if the audience, the playing audience of the mobile HTML was about 2%. About month and a half, we launched the games in the Messenger. Actually, the main idea behind these games was, like, for example, we encountered these games as an extension to the communication. Like, for example, the two guys decide where to go this Friday. and they cannot agree. Like one guy would like to go to the Irish pub, another to the strip club, whatever, and they decide to settle this conflict as an adult. They create a duel in a match-free game. So it's like an extension to the communication. And in order to launch this game, the user should open the certain chat to the certain friend, click the icon of the game, choose the game, and the game launches. You have the short session, all the methods can calculate the progress, etc., and the winner is like shown on the in the chat. Of course, these games also work on the mobile device. It's all up to the game developer. So mainly, because this is a cross-platform realization, the game should be in HTML5. But now imagine the depth, the level of the cross-platform integration. Like for example, you have the web version of the game, you have the same game on the mobile web device, like the HTML5 game, and for example, user plays your match-free game and he ran off the lives. Like, that's it. In normal case, he probably will close the application and go do something else. But you can ask him to play the Blitz game, for example. Just you draw the field of standard field, you give him 1 minute and ask him to collect as many points as possible. After he completes this Blitz game, you ask him to challenge his friend. He accepts, and in this case, you send the invitation to the Blitz game to the messenger. So the guy who probably never played your game before, like he received the invitation from his friend, like, hey guy, come on, let's play the Blitz game, I'm challenging you. He launches the game, play the one level of the Blitz game, and after that you can like ask him if he would like to play the full version of the game. So you can count these chat messaging games as well as the additional viral channel, which will probably be more effective, just a simple request invitation or something like that. Right now, the new game at Game Messenger receives about the 500 till the 3K of the installs a day. The most popular audience in this case is kind of younger than on the web games. It's about 5 till 18-year-old, but actually that's because that we did not promote the such game genres to all the audience. The entry point was kind of hidden, and actually it was not very casual to launch the game and find this launching icon with only interface. But we will solve this problem in the future. And the monetization possibilities of this chat game. So first of all, this in-app purchases. Next one is that next month we will launch a possibility to show the video ads in your game, and you will receive the share from these video ads. And of course, this viral stuff, like you can implement this virality, as I explained before. Like use the messaging games as the viral channel to your big web games. So probably that's all I would like to tell you now. So if you would like to join the Russian market, ask me how, and welcome to Russia.